Hello, beautiful people. The reason why Meghan Markle now hates the internet is because she can't control it. The reason why she hates YouTubers like me is because she can't control the flow of information we provide to you. She has a lot of power through the royal family in censoring because all of us YouTubers face a lot of censorship on a daily basis covering this very stupid topic, which is not really stupid because at the end of the day implies the royal family being an accomplice to Meghan Markle's crazy stunts. One of them being the fake pregnancies. And here I'm going to show you more proof that this woman has swindled the entire UK with the blessing of the royal family. Yes, I'm going to say the blessing because with everything that we all have covered, the royal grift, Megan Small, who has a master's in mythology, all of us have presented you guys with a lot of evidence that this is insanity at its worst. This is really insane, beautiful people. So I'm going to show you even more evidence about this crazy thing that Meghan Markle was never pregnant. That those children, I'm sure they exist, were not carried by her, and that instead of being transparent and coming clean with it and maybe modifying the laws that allow surrogates, children born out of surrogates, to be in the line of succession, they decided to go with fraud. Just let me show you what I mean with this because it's absolutely insane. Even with letters patents, they have lied and they have not followed procedure to register the birth of Archie. God, never mind Lilibet, who's not even featured in the British Gazette, the Royal Gazette. So let's get into this, beautiful people, because I've had enough and I'm about to write a petition, to start a petition, a parliamentary petition in Canada, asking the Canadian Parliament to demand that the details of the births of Archie and Lilibet be made public or those children be removed from the line of succession, and also to demand that a law be instated retroactively to Meghan Markle's children, that all royal births have to have disclosed all the public details about the birth, who the doctors were and everything, because in order for them to be in the line of succession. And if they're not disclosed, then they have to come off of the line of succession. I'm sorry about this. I sound like Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. I'm sorry I look like that. I have a cold. I have a flu. And yes, but I hope you bear with me and let's get into this video. I mean, weren't we inundated with images of Meghan Markle lovingly cradling that moon bump, that fake bump? Oh, yes. She made sure that we all put our attention how she was safeguarding that baby because she needed to protect it, to connect with that baby, right? So she's being overprotective of, I mean, I don't, of the child, also known as the moon bump, or a strap-on pregnancy. I will call it a strap-on pregnancy. She knows about strap-ons. So yeah, we're gonna call that the strap-on pregnancy because Megan is familiar with strap-ons. Okay. Yet this woman wants us to believe that this heavily pregnant woman, look how huge this belly is. She looks like she's carrying triplets. And that's supposed to have been taken when she was about 5 to 6 months pregnant. Yeah, this is when she's 5 to 6 months pregnant. She's carrying that limp baby, huge baby on that belly, which any pregnant woman in the world would never be able to do because it's so uncomfortable. The weight of that child on that stomach, it's unbearable. We usually put the babies on our side because that's the most comfortable position. But no, she's comfortably placing that huge toddler on her big belly. I mean, are we going to buy that BS? And this is during Netflix. This is when Abigail Spencer was talking that is the moment that she saw Meghan Markle drop to the floor announcing that she was having a miscarriage. I mean, how would Meghan Markle know she was having a miscarriage? You might feel pain, but no. Could it be because, the child is so big, she keeps putting another limp child on her huge belly. And I don't know about you, but all women in the world, we get swollen ankles when we get to be this big. Look how skinny her arms are. Look how skinny her ankles and feet are. No matter how skinny your pregnancy is, you will always get water retention around your ankles, especially around that thing. Now we know that the miscarriage story, of course, varies. Let's all not forget that recollections may vary because Meghan went to the trouble of writing that huge op-ed, expensive op-ed, stating that as she was coming down and she was humming a song for Archie, and she picked up the socks. We all know the story. We all know it's BS. So this is the woman that another limp baby. Does she drug a child? Because I've seen it in Nicaragua that women and people drug children at the traffic lights in order to keep them quiet when they're begging for money. Because no toddler, especially when you're outside saying, waving goodbye to your dad, because supposedly she was there saying goodbye to to Harry when he was going to work, as if. And supposedly what's her name is saying that she saw Meghan Markle there. Yeah, she saw her there. So isn't it pretty insane how stories differ? But the interesting part of it all is that this child is always, always limp. And she places the child on her huge belly after always grasping, covering, gently holding up her belly when she's anywhere out. She's always putting her hand under her belly as protecting her. Okay, that's just the objective biology body part. We're going to get to the nitty gritty right now with little things, because I know I've talked a lot about this, and I'm going to keep talking about this until this is actually resolved. So let me show you something else. This is the British royal family letters pattern whenever a child is born and announced. And I'm going to show you that in order for this to be done, it has to carry out the following information. On November 23rd, April 2018, and I'm using Prince Louis specifically because he's closer to the time when Archie was born, because a lot of the sugars have come and said, oh, well, they don't do that. They haven't done that in a long time. Yes, they have. Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Cambridge, was admitted to St. Mary's Hospital, Paddington, London, after this morning in the early stages of labor. The Duchess traveled by car from Kensington Palace to the Lindo Wing at St. Mary's Hospital with the Duke of Cambridge. 23rd of April, 2018, published 23rd of April, 2018, Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Cambridge, was safely delivered of a son at 11:01 hours. The baby weighs 7 ounces. The interesting part here is notes to editor, the medical staff in support were, and you have the names of everybody involved in the birth of that child. And here you have the Kensington Palace announcement. And you have the easel. That's what you get. This is how the British royal family letters patents are issued, right? That's how all royal children are, guys. This is not math, science, or anything. You can see the easel, the names, and the signatures, everything that goes in accordance with the royal announcement. So we know that Louis belongs in the line of succession. Now, this is Archie's British royal family letters patent. That's it. That's it. How can this be? And of course, this was amended to include that Meghan Markle was now a princess. Okay. How can this be allowed? How? I still don't get it. And that the people are quietly sitting by. The racism claim no longer works, in my very humble opinion. But this is being allowed. So none of Meghan's children have followed the most basic protocol in order to be in the line of succession. Not even with the British royal family's letters patent. They don't have even the minimum. They don't even meet the minimum requirements to have a British royal letters patent, royal family's letters patent. And yet these two children are there. We know that they lied about where and when those kids were born, especially Archie. We know that she did not. She would never be sent by any sane, not even a mildly insane doctor. She would never be sent back to her home 2 hours after she gave birth with an epidural. That doesn't happen, especially when it was a troublesome birth. That doesn't happen. We know that a hospital would never allow a husband to get high on hospital drugs like Harry claims that he did, or that he went and ordered Nando's sent his bodyguard to order Nando's when Nando's closed at that time. And Harry's the only witness we have. And yet, we are here and now still talking about this bullshit. And I think it's time we said enough is enough. I'm starting that petition and I will be sharing it with you guys here online. And I hope it's a parliamentary petition to the Canadian Parliament. And I hope you sign it. We need to get to 10,000 signatures and I will be posting it and I will be asking all YouTubers to share it. So if we get to 100,000 signatures, then it takes a longer procedure because I have asked people to do that in the UK, because if they do it from the UK, it's much quicker than if it goes straight to UK Parliament, and Parliament has to discuss it. If they get 100,000 signatures, if they have to discuss it and they have to put forth the law, to bring back the law that used to be, maybe not have the witness, the Home Secretary and two other government employees there, but to make it law that, and retroactive to Meghan Markle's, that all details of royal births have to be made public in order for the child to be in the line of succession. It's not an absurd thing to ask, and it should be the requirement. If you want to be a citizen of any country, they require proof of citizenship. They require that according to the laws of each country. We don't have that with Harry and Meghan Markle. And I think it's time we said enough. As usual, please don't forget to follow me on Facebook. I need to get to 5,000. What are you waiting for? And show this old lady love by liking, sharing, and subscribing. I have a few interviews that you're going to love, of some of your favorite YouTubers coming. I'm not going to do lives with them. It's going to be like proper interviews. So yeah, show some love and subscribe, like, share, and comment, guys. It really helps the algorithm. And make sure you're still subscribed. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. And let's put an end to this absolute insanity.